fighting this war for our brain. Not just about money. I say to you, it's time for you to. You don't need more. You don't need more software. You got to work on your hardware. Fighting the hardware is you.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody.
You're the most amazing creation on the planet.
Get the music down. Where are you? You're over here. All right. How can I be of service today? What questions might I answer? A lot of times people will tell me that the holiday season is a time where their business slows down. And over 4 decades, I've never found that to be the case. I've heard about it. I've had people tell me about it. Yeah, if you look at statistics, one of the neat things about our profession is that we do have a lot of statistics. And when I say profession, sales, most retail stores, the holiday season is where they get 40% of their business, 50% of their business in this last quarter. So it's not slow for them. People spend more money in this quarter than they do in most other quarters. So it's not slow in spending. We just come up with this story about how it's difficult to get business. Silke, good morning. I see your hand is up. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Sean. How are you?
Outstanding.
I totally agree with you. That's not what I was going to ask, but I totally agree with you. I think it's the people who are doing the business that are slowing down. It's not that the customers and things are slowing down over
Right.
the holidays.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, they think, oh, it's holidays, I shouldn't work. I think that's what it is, because people, especially people selling things, people are buying. I mean, there's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. That's when most people are buying.
Yep.
So depending on what you're selling, and yeah, I mean, but no, I don't think any businesses slow down over the holidays at all, especially people selling products. But
Yep.
that was not my question.
What's your question?
My question is, how can I craft my initial reach out to people that I get 90% of responses, positive responses?
So, in the next, something simple. So you kind of have there's a couple of different avatars that you're going to speak to, right? So you can set the stage, you can keep it general, and you could have.
I mean, I message those people, okay, specifically.
Right. No, but what I mean is that
I'm not asking about posts, but I'm asking about
in a direct message, yes, or
yes,
in a text or something.
Yes, in Messenger, yes.
Okay, so in Messenger, so you have access to see who they are, which niche they would fall into. If you look at who is your ideal customer, right? If you were to wave the magic
anybody
wand,
that likes to travel, or anyone that likes to have fun and earn, I think.
So the question then is, you could ask about, because it's okay to start asking for resolutions, right? 2026 resolutions, and what's the thing you're going to absolutely make sure you do in 2026, right? That's January 1st is coming. So you might ask, what are your travel resolutions for 2026? What trip are you going to take this year that you didn't take in 2025?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. So another one might be is, how much of the travel industry do you plan on putting in your pocket this year?
Yes, I like that.
Another one might be, if they have kids, before the kids are grown, what's the trip they'll remember for life? What's the dream trip you want to take your family on in 2026?
Yeah, That I like because many people I've come across say, oh, my children are small, they can't travel yet. But I have memories, the best memories of when my father took me traveling when I was little. So I'm not sure where that comes from and why some people think their children have to be teenagers or even older to take them anywhere.
Yep.
What do you think? Why is that?
Well, it's just an excuse. It's nobody's going to argue with a mom saying you should take them traveling now, right? So something you might say to a mom. I bet you have some childhood trips you remember, don't you? Let's say we put a trip on the board for your kids so they have one they remember too.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's many people that did not have that as a child.
Sure.
Maybe that's one of the reasons as well.
Yep. If they're near our age, if they're in our generation, because the younger group, they don't need to travel as much. They travel. They don't. The need to travel is because of social media and AI and everything else, and YouTube. They can feel like they've gone on a trip without ever having left their basement of their parents' house because of technology and everything else. So there's not this wanting to expose themselves to incredible places that the only way you can get there is to be in person. So that's a shift that's taking place, right?
Well, but I think you don't have, I mean, having traveled extensively, you even seeing videos and
yeah,
whatever.
but you've got the experience of having traveled. If somebody has never traveled, they don't have the same desire to travel, even because they can see it. Oh no, I've been to Dubai, the big building. Oh, you did? When did you go? Well, I mean, I watched it on YouTube. It's literally that's how they justify their limiting belief that that's enough. It's just psychology. You can't argue with it. I agree that me going to having a sitting in Rosa Nautica in Peru, in Lima, Peru, there's not a single video that would ever do it justice. Yet people will say, "Oh no, I know that's the one out on the pier, right? Oh wow, you've been there? No, I've watched it on YouTube. It looks nice. They have seafood there. I'm not big on seafood, and that's their story." So
Well, I don't know. I I think that's maybe more of old people.
no, that's young people.
Really? I
Oh
don't know
gosh,
any young people
there'll be travel
that talk
companies.
like that.
There'll be travel companies that will have monthly fees, and it'll be just VR, virtual reality, and people will go on these trips in virtual reality.
Wow, that's pretty lame. I'm sorry, but
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to be sorry. It's just the way technology is going.
well, yeah, I mean, you can make yourself a virtual paradise, I guess, but I
Yep.
mean, that misses the interaction with real people.
Not to them. This is why we have to break molds and shake up patterns and break old stories, because those are the news stories that, oh my God, I never used to have this story. People will come home and they'll literally be in VR world. Do I agree with it? No. Is it a trend? Yes. And all I can do is have conversations to ask people to awaken at a cellular awareness, not just a logical awareness. And that's all we're doing when we're asking somebody to step into our business or step into traveling to places they've never been before, is for them to have a cellular experience versus a logical experience. And that's what your questions, that's what this opening gambit of dialogues is, to get people to, through novelty, activate a cellular response versus a logical response. A logical response is, I don't have time, I don't have money. Oh, it's one of those things. Those are all logical. Doesn't take any emotion to have those. They're queued up responses. You want to be able to ask people questions where they literally have to think, which is going to minimize your response because people don't like to think. Two,
People
well, they don't
like to think.
No,
Are you
1%,
serious?
1% think, 2% think they think, the other 97% would rather die than think.
Is that true?
Oh gosh, yes. Ask somebody, what do you think? And they're going to go, well, nothing. They're not lying. Nobody thinks. They respond, they react.
Well, that's getting pretty pathetic, I think.
Well, that's
But that shows
here's the thing, that it's been that way for the last 600,000 years.
that people don't think.
Mhm.
Well, I
Yeah.
would say I do think.
On occasion, you do. When you get mad, that's not thinking, that's reacting.
I don't get mad.
Yeah. You tried. You almost made it. You almost got through it.
See, I even made you laugh this early in the morning.
Yeah. So,
Well,
and that's the thing. So when you challenge people to something different, so have you ever you've been everywhere in the world. I'm just trying to think of have you ever had Irish stew in Ireland?
No, I've never been to Ireland.
Okay, good. So what I mean by good is, if I wanted to tell you that, oh, Ireland, when it rains, it is so amazing. And when the wind blows sideways and it almost knocks you off your feet, to be walking down St. James Square, it's absolutely incredible. And the wind is like chilling you through your bones. You'd be like, I don't really think I want to go there.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking of Arkansas.
Right. So my point is that it'd be hard for me to sell you on an experience I know you would love, because the people would love you. They would absolutely have fun with you because of your background, your accent, and all of that. That's how the Irish are. My point is that if I described it that way, you'd be like, geez, it'd be really hard to go. You'd have to have a lot of trust and faith in me going, I'm spending a ton of money. I'm spending a ton of time. This better be worth it.
Oh, I go if you pay for it.
What's that?
I said I would go if you pay for it.
Right. So, okay. So that makes it worth it. So what I'm asking you is, in order for people to give you their thinking, because that's what they're giving. When we ask anybody a question, they have to give us thinking. Some people got in trouble for thinking when they were little. And that's been wired into them. They got in trouble for thinking, what are you doing? Just do what I say, right? If anybody's ever heard that, just do what I say. Stop. Just be seen and not heard, right? And so we've heard all of these things, so we got programmed. So we come along, we as entrepreneurs, we as people who are looking to expand our income possibilities, and we want people to think. They have to think when they engage with us. If they are not thinking, they're not going to move forward. If they get to say, I don't have time, I don't have money, they have never thought about your project, period. Doesn't matter what project, doesn't matter what company, doesn't matter what comp plan, doesn't matter what. If they come up with an objection, a protection that you have heard before and before and before, like, I don't have time, I don't have money, that's too much, send me some information, send me some literature. They are not thinking, period, end of conversation. So our job is through novelty, new, and thinking to get them to see things in a way they never saw things. So if they say, yeah, send me some information, they haven't thought a single thing about this. They know that's a response they can use to get out of this monologue of you talking and I'm not listening to nothing. And
they never even look at it.
Mm-mm.
They just want to get rid of you. Yep. No, I totally agree with you. Yes.
So when you say, well, I'm surprised, really, that number is that low that most people don't think? Look at your responses to your conversations. We haven't engaged their prefrontal cortex. They're operating out of the amygdala. They're operating out of their hippocampus, hypothalamus. Their protection zones. Their limbic system is in full go. And there's no words in the limbic system. It's just strictly emotions and feelings. The first thing that somebody is going to register when they engage us is our signal, our vibration. And if we're not 100% sure, if we're in doubt, if we're like, they're probably not even going to want this. Surprise, they don't even want it. Oh, it's not me. I mean, they came up with all the objections. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the dialogue or the signal, the vibration? So if we get people to think, that's why I ask questions. That's why I'm asking questions, prefrontal cortex questions all the time. And most people they can get frustrated. They used to get really frustrated because I was a jackass the way I would used to ask questions. Now I'm just a ass. I'm not a jackass.
Why? What? How? Okay, let me ask you this then. How did you change your questions so people can be more amenable to what you
Do I
ask?
have your permission to help?
I see. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes total
Do I have
sense.
your permission to make you a little bit, right? In my head, I get smaller, a little bit uncomfortable. Because if I said, do I have permission to make you a little bit uncomfortable? They'd be like, oh, contextually, that doesn't make sense. That's a big, little, right? So there's these little body frequencies, these little body movements to speak subliminally, to speak subconsciously to them know what we're about to do. Change your voice if I'm on a phone call and I'm not live in person. I still do it on my side so I can get the frequency right. Do I have the permission to make you a little bit uncomfortable? Yes. Oh, good. Whew. I'm glad you answered that right. And right, clarify, qualify, create expectation. Listen, can I ask you 3 quick questions? Do I have permission to help? Well, of course. Yeah. No. Simple yes or no helps because it right? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Do I have your permission to make you feel uncomfortable? And I hope if somebody is really antsy, if somebody feels a little bit threatened, which it happens occasionally, about 25% of the time, that's the caregivers. The caregivers never want anything. They want to serve everybody. So if I'm showing up talking to them about something that they can use for themselves, they're going to be highly resistant. So when I ask them if they could be uncomfortable, they go to this level 1000. And I say, if you answer the right way, I don't tell them which way to answer. If you answer the right way, you're going to love question number 3. So that's creating expectation. You're going to have to answer the tough question the right way, and the right way is with yes. And if they answer yes, oh, good. I'm so glad. Here's question 3. Let me get it to you real quick because they're in stress mode right now. Hey, do I have permission to take you out? And I pause on that, out of that uncomfortable feeling. And you watch their shoulders drop and you hear them breathe. Oh, yes. Because that simple question had put them into such stress they couldn't hear anything else. Now, when I first started to develop these questions, I didn't have the 3rd question. Do I have permission to make you uncomfortable? Great, let's get started. I didn't free
feeling
people up.
uncomfortable.
And so I left. And so for probably 5 months, 6 months, it's like they would get started and then they would trail off. Then most everybody got started. They never were able to stick because I didn't ever take them out of the uncomfortable feeling. That thing lasted from the time of our event, from the time of our meeting. So then I said, what do I got to do? What I'm leaving. Ask them, is it okay to come out of the uncomfortable feeling? Because what I found is that people love to be in pain.
Yes, I have seen that as well.
98% of the people love to be in pain. They love to talk about their pain. They love to complain about their pain. They love to complain about what they don't have. Mm-hmm. And in this world of opportunity and possibility, there's no reason for anybody to be poor or to anybody to be broke, to anybody to not have enough. Not one single reason at all. At all. Not one. We have access to a global platform. You could have a global business. I used to have to sell corn off a hay wagon. I get to sell corn off a hay wagon. When I was 6 years old, 6 years old, I had to wait for people to drive down the road. And I wasn't a really frequented street until I started putting corn out. Then everybody came by because they just loved seeing a 6-year-old buying corn from a 6-year-old. So I had to create my traffic. We have access to a global traffic. We have multimedia platforms where people can hear us and see us and get to know us. How many of us have an artist that we just love their voice and we love to watch them on big screen? We even pay tickets to go watch them live. It's because we have this multimedia experience, and we don't give people a multimedia experience. We ask them questions like, do you make enough money? Do you have enough time? When's the next time you're going to go? When are you going to be healthy for a year? What? We need to give them a multimedia experience, and that's the creating expectation. What happens on your next trip that you take imagine you took your family on the greatest family vacation and it was free. Where did you go? Imagine if you had generated enough thank you income from other people, they sent you on a trip, your family's greatest vacation in 2026. Where would you go? Wait a minute, what are you talking about sending me thank you income? We'll get to that. My business model is that I participate in businesses that afford me enough income that I don't have, it covers all my expenses. If my company paid for your mortgage right now, would you be happy? What would you think you'd need to do to have my company pay the mortgage? Do you think you'd need to go dig ditches or fly a helicopter or what? What do you think you'd have to do? Again, thinking. What if you introduce some people to me and let me do the work for you? Let me use the systems that are available to us. Let me help people get put into the systems, and the company sent you thank you money for your family vacation. So this time next year, you're going on an all expense paid free trip because you've earned enough thank you income that you said, thank you company for sending me on this trip.
Well,
Got to create a story.
yes, and it sounds so amazing when it comes out of your mouth.
Because I believe it. I know it's possible. I've seen
Well,
it done.
I believe it too, but it
Well,
still doesn't seem to come out of my mouth exactly the way it comes out of your mouth. I
well,
mean,
and I'm not even in your
working
business.
on it.
I'm
Well,
not. Well, the key is that it's about understanding who they are. It's about you being at peace.
my
It's hard-
business is probably the easiest business to share because
Yeah, it's easy to share. It's hard to convince because most people are afraid to travel. And that doesn't mean the physical going through TSA. There's no fear of TSA, although some people have it. There's no fear of flying, although some people have it. There's no fear of turbulence, although some people have it. Their fear is that their identity is going to change.
what?
That's the biggest fear.
I've never had anybody use that as an excuse.
Well, that's because you've let them use the old stand and true traditions of I don't have time, I don't have money, and send me some information. Yours is one of the most life-changing experiences people could have, travel. And people aren't ready for that. Why do you think people get so excited? Why do you think they'll wake up at 4:00 in the morning and not complain about going to the airport? Oh my God, we're going on vacation. I get to go on vacation. I have to go to work. I get to go on vacation. I'm not going to be here. They're telling everyone I'm not going to be here for a week. I'm going on vacation. Oh, where are you going? Oh, we're going to Yosemite Park. We're going to Istanbul. We're going to Serbia. We're going to Ljubljana. They're all excited about where they're going, and they're nervous because they've never been. It's one of the most anytime you change somebody's identity, there's 1,000% resistance. And it's because you're changing, they're going to have to see themselves as somebody different. I make residual income. Oh my God, who am I? When's the last time I made residual income? Oh, and you know why people don't like people who make residual income? Oh, everybody at the top. You're somebody I just got started. I'm not at the top and I made money. They don't want to hear that. Yeah, but it's one of those scams. It's a scam because I understand leverage and you don't. So anytime anybody hears something they don't understand, do they promote it or do they bosh it? They trash it. If they don't understand.
And I read this the other day. It says poor people think everything is a scam.
Except being poor. So if that's the case, then I would say, well, so what's your take on poverty? Because I'm a thinking person. I don't have to get down in the mud and waller with you on facts that are facts. Yeah, everyone that's poor thinks most things are scams. Totally agree. Are you a scam thinker, or are you somebody who thinks outside the box? Somebody who thinks above poverty?
Wow, I always love your input. I mean,
See, in
it's
all of these things, if you learn to use all of these things, they could help grow your business, right?
yes, absolutely.
So this is an income producing activity we just did.
No.
100%,
Uh,
100%.
income producing activities when I reach out to people.
No, an income producing activity is when you reach out to people and they respond, not when they reject you. And this is what's going to change the way they respond, not reject you. So this is an income producing activity that you will convert into generating actual dollars.
I don't think Nat Puranaputra would agree with you on that.
Well, they don't have to agree. But I'm telling you, any education you go to, any sharpening of your own saw is an income producing activity. The challenge is most people get tremendous income activity producing ideas and never take action. Income producing activity doesn't mean you're in physical action. This is the hardest work you'll ever do in
Well,
this kind of income producing activity.
to me, income producing activity is actually connecting with people that will
Sure, but what isn't
train me.
so?
And
If you
here
connect with
I'm not
somebody and if you
connecting.
connect with somebody and they say no, did you produce any income?
No, but that's
If you connect with
normal.
somebody and say the right thing and they say yes, did you produce income?
Yes,
So
but
which is the
that's
income producing activity, the action or the way you set up the action?
well, certainly, but this is it's
No, no,
different.
no,
It's-
no, no, no. You don't get to say this isn't an income producing activity and then say,
Okay, but I'm telling you, it's not. It's the same thing when you go to school and you sit in school and you're learning.
and that's
And
why there's millionaires who graduate high school and there's people who are poor that graduate high school. It's what you do with it.
well, certainly it is.
Yeah. So
I agree
education
with
is an
you.
income producing activity. Most people
No,
never
yeah, and
expand
I
that
don't
way.
see it that way at all. But that's
Really? So when you learn German, when you were learning to teach German or set up your business, to start a business, those weren't income producing activities? Could you have just started the business without any education?
I did. Yes, I did.
No, could you have started it without any education on
Yes,
how to open a business, how to operate a business, how to do marketing, how to set up a website, how to collect money? You could open it without any of that?
I actually didn't learn any of that.
Oh,
I
so
did.
you don't collect money through credit card now?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
so
But
how did you learn that?
I figured that all
Oh, you
out by
figured it
myself.
out.
Well, I used yes, I
So
used
you wasted time on education so you could collect credit card. Or was it a waste of time?
I
It wasn't a
guess
waste
you
of time.
lost me somewhere. Well, I mean, there's the buttons at GoDaddy. You just add them to the website,
Yeah, but you
and
had to
then
figure that out. You had to learn that as
yes,
simple as it was.
I had to figure that out. Yes,
So
because I do
are
all
you
that
able to
stuff
collect more
myself.
money? Are you able to collect more money because you collect it through credit cards now?
But I started collecting it through credit
Interesting
cards
answer,
right
not the
away.
answer to my question. The fact that you learn how to put buttons up to collect money through credit cards allowed you to increase your income, yes?
Yeah, well, of
Okay,
course.
so education is an income producing activity.
But
If
I didn't educate myself. I just, I
you
mean,
had to so, oh,
oh,
there's the button. I had to click
okay.
that.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you to disagree. I guess I'm
Can't
just not
disagree. That's
understanding what
stupid.
you're telling me.
That you
You
can't
can't tell
disagree.
me I'm stupid.
Yeah, well, it's stupid to think that way because if you listen, your new company, did you have to learn how to get to the website? Your new company, did you have to learn a little bit about the
Yeah,
comp plan?
I, well, I just read it. I mean, is that learning?
But
I guess
well, do you know the comp? Did you know the comp plan before you joined up?
no, I don't
Oh,
think
so
so.
when you read the comp plan, you learned it, you memorized some things, and you're probably learning some more things about it now, right?
I just said it's travel. Okay, let's go.
So you don't know about the comp plan.
Oh, I do know about the complaint.
Ah,
Yes, I
but how
do.
did you know? How did you learn about the comp plan?
Probably heard about it and read it. I can read it.
Okay, excellent. So
Yes,
you learned new information that you now use in your storytelling, right?
yes, if somebody's interested.
Excellent. So that's an income producing activity of learning the comp plan.
Yeah, see, I don't see that way.
How could you not? How could you be so myopic and not say, you know what, you're right. So you're not willing to shift your identity to be incorrect. It's not wrong, but this is an income producing activity. If you go use any one of these outreaches and somebody says, yes, it was the outreach that produced the income, not the action, because otherwise you would just do action and your actions aren't producing the results you want right now. So you're looking for new ways.
Yeah, see, I only see as income producing activity to literally reach out to people.
And how's that income coming in? Not so good for anyone, not just you. It's for everyone. That's why very few people do reach outs, because the return on that reaching out is very poor because they don't have a way to create the attraction. So learning new ways.
Well, that's basically what I was asking you when we started this out.
So that's an income producing activity.
That was exactly what I was saying. How should I reach out? How can I reach out to have more success, like 90% instead of?
So then, which is the income producing activity? Going to reach out or learning how to reach out better? Which is going to create more income? Just reaching out or learning how to reach out better?
Well, reaching out is the actual activity.
Excellent. But which one? So go ahead. Well, then don't ask the question and go just do what you're doing. And you want to get better results, right?
Well, yes, that's why I'm here. That's why.
So then where does the income come from? Having a better way to reach out or simply reaching out?
You just want to trap me that
it's not trapping. You just don't want to let go of the trap you're in. That's all. I get it. Who else has got, or what's the next question I can help you with? Anything else?
Yeah, you can give me some more things to say.
Oh, you're just going to reach out. You don't need them. Your income producing activity is enough.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, it's not fine. It's not. Hey, listen, you're the one that said I just got to reach out. That's how I produce more income. Outstanding. Let me know how that works. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions? How can I be of service? The hardest work you will ever do is on yourself. And that's the only place you can create income is inside you. If you don't, all of those are symptoms. You have a desire, you have a want, you have a wish, you have a desire. Your desire is to enroll people in your business, to get more customers, to create more income. That desire produces symptoms. The symptoms are reaching out. The symptoms are following up. The symptoms are creating new business partners. The symptoms are training. The income producing happens up here. You have to see it before you can achieve it. That's what every great master of income has ever said. You've got to see it before you can achieve it. You got to see the income before you can do it, because the strategies are just strategies. When we ask how questions, that's income producing. How do I do this? How is human? You got to get better. That's how. Well, I mean, what should I be doing different? You got to get better, period. When I would ask my mentor, how do I do that? Very well. Why do you ask? Get better at it. You got to get better. Well, how do I get better? Don't do what you're doing that's bad. So your any income producing activity requires you to get better. Well, there's only so many ways you can reach out. You could reach out with Christmas cards. You could reach out with 3x5 cards. You could reach out with direct messages. If your direct messages suck, you're not getting any response. So that's not producing an income. The income's got to come from the way you reach out, the energy, the frequency behind it. All income is up to you. That's why there's people in your business, and this is all of us. There's people in your business that make $100,000 a month and you make $10,000 a month. You make $1,000 a month. You don't make anything a month. That's because they are at a different level, not a different rank, a different level. Yeah, the rank goes up, but your rank goes up based upon how you adjust as a human. Rank is based upon how much they've grown. Title is based upon how much somebody has grown. When you weren't a mom, you didn't have a mom title. As soon as you had a kid, you became a mom. You got a new title because you grew. You now have a new responsibility. Most people don't want to take on responsibilities. That's why first-time parents are like scared to death with their, oh my God, am I doing it right? They just cried. They just this. By the time the second one comes along and the third one comes along, they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Do we still have them? Are they in the car? Okay, they're alive. That's good. So when you moved it from out there to in here, see, when the income producing activity is out there, then you don't have to be responsible for it. When you move it to in here, it changes the responsibility for the actions taken. How, what, when, why, frequency, signal, all that stuff. Any other questions, comments I can use to help grow your help grow your grow your business, not your building. You're not in carpenters or construction folk. Questions, comments, follow-up, DMP questions.
Morning, Sean.
Good morning, Diane.
I just had a comment.
Yep.
I read the 4 agreements the other day. It was just
Awesome.
a really bad day here. It was raining and thunder and all that stuff. So I
It was a
settled.
great day. You
It
got to
was.
read the 4
And
agreements.
yes, and I settled and I read the book and it's true. You brought up all those things in the last little while about, you know, you have to put yourself first and you have to love yourself and you have to do that, to learn to love yourself before you could do
And that's
anything.
a hard thing.
It is a hard thing because I was writing a whole bunch of notes and it was like, I didn't see this before. And I don't know if it was because nature was the way it was that day. There was something. And so, yeah, it was very mind opening.
And now, because what you learned in chapter 1, and when you go and finish the book, you go back and read chapter 1, chapter 1's going to seem completely different.
Yes. Because I've
And
read
that's
it a
what-
few times and I've never
Do you
got
think the
that
book,
much
do you
out of
think the
it.
words in the book changed?
No.
Okay, good. Whew, I'm not, well, you know, sometimes there is a new, there's people who, because when I read this book, they go, well, that's not in my book.
Mhm.
I agree. There could be something a little different, but if it's the same book you've had. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, so it and doing Think and Grow Rich, where we finished doing that, it just makes me think more and I do look at working on myself a bit more now, in order to move forward.
And
Yes,
it's hard.
it is.
It's hard until, right? So if you
Yeah.
go back and you look at the 6 steps to riches, fixing your amount, determine exactly what you want, establish a definite date, create a definite plan. 5th, write out a clear, concise statement. And 6th, read your statement aloud twice a day. I can promise 98% of the people have not done that. It was right there in chapter 2, and 98% of the people haven't done it.
I do that every day, but I only do it once a day, so maybe I have to up it to twice a day.
I would do it I would definitely do the reading of it twice a day.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I would sum it down. One of the things, Colonel Tim Cole,
Yeah.
had,
I met him, yes.
yeah. So did he show you his 3x5, or did Kyle ask him to talk about his 3x5 card?
No.
Okay. So every day he writes out each morning on a 3x5 card. What do I want? What do I need to get better at? And what do I need to be expecting? Right. It might be 3 different things, but I think those are the 3 things. So what I would offer you is that when you read your DMP, is I'd write down 3 things that you got triggered in your mind to activate your reticular activating system for. Maybe you don't have time to write out the whole thing every
Mhm.
day or twice a day, but if you read it twice a day, when you read it in the morning, keep a 3x5 card and listen for the hunches, listen for the mastermind to show up, because your DMP and you are 2 different things. And when
Okay.
2 get together, creates a third mind.
Yes.
It's not the physicality of reading it. It's not the physical action of simply reading. Oh, I got to check a box. I read it. No, you're reading it to activate the hunches, to literally activate a mastermind. When I read this, part of my invisible counselors are there. And so when I can read this book and I underline and do all these notes and all of these sticky things on there,
Mhm.
that's not in the book. That's a
Yes.
mastermind in my head that said, okay, mark that. Okay, so I'm going to go to this green one. This says two forms of imagination. Okay, so I know this is the synthetic and the creative, right? Two forms of imagination, the synthetic and the creative. Yep, there they are, the synthetic. So now if I get a trigger, because this book sits right on my desk, what was that about imagination? Okay, so synthetic. Okay, material, experience, education, and then there's a creative imagination. Right? So when you read that, you're doing the synthetic, the writing, right?
Right.
Synthetic imagination, created, man-made, to activate your creative. Most of you, when you ask me questions, you're asking me for my creative imagination.
Right.
Not my synthetic. You're not asking me the how-to. You know the how-to. You're asking me to activate the creative imagination in me so you can be more creative and create more income.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? So when you do that, when you write when you read it, if you don't get a chance to write it, I would read it, and then I would write on a 3x5 card. I'd get a 3x5 card. I don't know here. So 3x5 cards. I don't tell you to do things I don't do. And I'd write out, what are the three things? And the reason three, right? Because three strands braided are unbreakable, right? Something in the Bible says something like that. When two of us together, God is always there. So when you read your DMP, your brain is looking for what's the hunch, what's the thing to make that come true? Because every time you read your DMP, when written correctly and read in the right state frequency, it's activating the thinking stuff. It's activating the universal substance. It's activating the God source to God throw hunches at you to go, you ready? You ready today? I'm going to give you a little wink. I'm going to give you a little God wink today. And oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do, is as you write those out, as you read those, the writing will force you to pay attention to the three things. What three things pop into that brilliant brain of yours that say, that's what I'm looking for?
Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. And I should have done it before, but
well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And today, here's the good news. Don't miss a day.
No.
Right? And today's the day that changed everything.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. When people grasp, and listen, I was the most, I don't want to say I was negative. I was the most doubting I guess I was doubting. I guess maybe disbelief. I didn't doubt it. I just didn't believe it. That writing things down. I remember the first 3 or 4 times I read this book, writing it down, doing that I got to go be busy. I got to feed the cows. I got to cut the grass. I got to sell the corn. I got to do the things. Man, Sean Aker in Harvard study, they said that happy doesn't make you rich. It's riches don't make you happy. It's you being in a state, a frequency of happiness that allows the money to come in. It's just that basic. And when people can't get that, they choose to avoid that. Well, when I get that, I'll be happy. No, you won't. Tell me how you feel, and I'll tell you how much is in your bank account. It's so simple. It's so easy. And the crossover is easy. The challenge is you just got to give up a lot of our old story. And that's where most people identity crisis. They won't do it. They say they want to do it. And then once you say you want to do it, this is for everyone. Once you say you want to give up the old story and you don't, if you were talking to one of your kids, talking to one of your best friends, and you gave them a ultimatum, if you don't do this, we're not going to be friends anymore. And they said, no, that's easy to do. I can do that. And they didn't do it. What would you say about your friend? Type it in the chat. If you asked your friend to do something and you both agreed on it, 100% agreed on it, you were absolutely 100% convinced they said yes and they were ready, willing, and able, and they didn't do it, how would you feel about your friend who just didn't do what they said they were going to do? What would you say about them? That's what you say about you. That's what you say about you every single day. When you say you're going to do something and you don't. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't. And every time you say you're going to do something and you make it this grandiose thing. I used to say, I'm going to reach out to 100 people a day. I didn't. There were days I did. I didn't. So I can't even keep my word to myself. What do you think that puts into me a frequency when I go talk to somebody and they say they're going to do it? If I lie to myself, they're sure as hell going to lie to me. And now that frequency starts, law of attraction. You're sitting there at a subconscious level knowing they ain't going to do it. And I'll be damned if they don't do it. And you're like, see, I knew they weren't going to do it. It's all us. It's all us. The responsibility's on these two shoulders, not anybody else's. Nobody else can lift your weights. Nobody else can do your work. Nobody else can increase your income without you. Not one person can increase your income. There's people that will do things for me, that will send me a check. It's because they like me. There's other people who don't do things for me that would send me a check because I'm not important to them. I get it. I get it. So it's about providing value. We get paid for one thing, value. We get paid to do two things, provide value to customers and provide value to business leaders, to business builders. Those are the only two things we get paid for in our business. We don't get paid for learning a product. We don't get paid for learning a comp plan, although we use those things to provide value to somebody who wants to build a business. Let me show you how the comp plan works. The comp plan is simple enough. I used to learn comp plans. Then I realized there's a 32-page PDF that does a hell of a better job than I do about how to understand the comp plan. So I stopped learning comp plan. I don't get paid to teach comp plans. I get paid to enroll customers and build business leaders. That's it. That's the only two things that I get paid for, is to provide value. Now, in my personal and my coaching and mentoring business, I get paid to move people forward, but I can't move you forward any faster than you want to move. I can't turn the heat up on you. I used to be an accountability coach. I used to check on people every day. What's your this? What's your that? What's your this? Send me this. It was exhausting for me. And as soon as I put the accountability, gave you the keys back to your car, drive it where you want. I'll tell you where to go. I've been where you've been. There's not a single place you're going to go that I haven't been. So I can help make sure you don't hit the roadblocks. I don't get stuck in the mud. But if I got to walk your dog, it ain't your dog, it's my dog. If I got to walk your business, it ain't your business, it's my business. And I got businesses. I don't need your business. I want you to win. And you to win requires you to upgrade your identity, the way you see yourself, and start seeing yourself as a winner, period, end of story. And when that sinks in, and when you cross that bridge from not belief to belief in yourself, 100% belief in yourself and your signal and your frequency and your vibration, you'll stop talking. You'll realize how much of a gift it is for people to be in your presence without being egotistical, because you've got the solution. You've got the answer. You want to find where is their biggest block that you can help them see that it's a block. And it's the most fun thing in the world when you start learning how the power of questions. When you start learning the power of questions, your life changes forever. Not just a little bit, forever. Forever. How does that make you feel? Feels good. Would you like more of that or less of that? More of it. Great. When do you want to start? Do you want to start what? Having more of what you want. Well, now, what do you think that costs? How much would you pay? What would be too expensive in your world for you to have what you want? What would be a price too high? There'd be no price too high. We should get started then. Oh, you make it sound so simple. Einstein said everything should be as simple as possible, not simpler. Simple as possible. So it's $400 to get started. Oh, I don't have the money to have more of what you want. The old story kicks in instantly. Instantly. It's not that they're lying. They forget. They just said, I want more of what I want. Nothing is too expensive for me to have what I want until old stories kick in. It's $400 to get started. Oh, that's too much. Oh, so your want just disappeared, or you lied about wanting what you want? Well, I'm afraid. That I can help you with. Don't lie. Do you still have dreams? Yes. Well, I don't know what to do. That's what I'm here for, is to show you the systems of how you can begin to leverage them to get what you want. Nobody wanted to go to kindergarten. Some of us wanted to go to first grade or second grade. But whenever we had to go back to new education, nobody was too excited about for summer to end. And most people have been on summer since they graduated school. They've been on summer vacation. Even in their job, they're on summer vacation. There's no advancement. There's no pay increase. They're not getting any rewards, blah, 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 blah. And that builds up a story. The story is, I just want to keep my head down and get paid enough to be comfortable. I'm not, listen, if you want to be comfortable, I'm not in that business. I'm in the uncomfortable business. Well, I don't want to go there. Oh, you wouldn't want to double your income? Well, yeah, I'd want that. Wouldn't that be uncomfortable to do that? Well, I mean, now I'd be okay with the income. Yeah, but our society requires us to do things. So wouldn't you be uncomfortable in the beginning? You'll get comfortable eventually. But I'm in the uncomfortable business. So you can have your dreams. If dreams were so easy, you'd have them already. You wouldn't need somebody to make you uncomfortable, to show you how to get uncomfortable. Are you willing to make 2026 the year of being uncomfortable? So 27 through 50 is the easiest life you've ever had, the most fun life you've ever had, period. We want to be smart. Thank goodness I skipped that bus, skipped that class. I became brilliant in understanding human. I'm still a neophyte in understanding human. We're still learning about the brain every second of every day. I've just learned some things that work in sales that produces an income better than most people. And it's not because I have any more knowledge. It's not because I have any better access to the internet. It's creating rapport and retention where people finally say, I got to do what you do. Awesome. Well, you'll never do what I do, but can we get you to do what you do different than you've ever done? Yeah. Then when would you like to start doing your life different so you can have better results than you've ever had? Now, awesome. It's going to be uncomfortable. So when you're uncomfortable, what are you going to tell me? I'm uncomfortable. Are you going to quit when it gets uncomfortable? You're going to want to, but are you? I'm here to make sure you don't quit. Is it okay if I can help you not quit on your dreams? Great. We should get started. It's fascinating. I know. Anything else? Anyone else? Questions, comments, thoughts? Going once.
Okay, I have.
Okay.
I have now decided that this is a profit-producing activity that I'm here in the morning.
Awesome. I love it.
So I just wanted to share that.
I love it. And now the profit comes in doing the action. But
Yes.
now imagine if somebody gave you, I don't know, you had access to an investment and you didn't have any money to put in the investment. You'd be like, oh man, if I just had some money. You now have all of this money called ideas to go put into this investment called Silka Carpenter. And when you put these ideas into invest in you, that's an income producing activity. Putting money into the stock market is an income investing activity, income producing activity. We hope it produces income. They tell you risk and all of this other stuff. Network marketing is one of the most powerful income producing activities. The reason most people fall short in it, fall on their face in it, is because they're not improving themselves. Robert Kiyosaki said it best. Network marketing is a personal development industry wrapped up in a comp plan. And the way that you you can tell how much somebody has grown personally based upon the level of their income. He said, find a good company that has a great personal development conversation, frequency, vibration in it, because your income will skyrocket. And if you're not using that, he said that in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Network marketing is a personal development industry with a comp plan. I fell in love with that statement. So
I like it.
I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, take with yous. Here I am. I don't know why I want to sing whatever the teapot sings in whatever that movie was. Here I am. The French teapot. Yes, there's squirrels in my brain, and I would careful, you'll get run over by them. All right, everybody. I love you tons. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing, incredible, fantastic sales producing activity day. I'll see y'all where?
Next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura
Pura
vida.
Vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us
Be with
all.
us all.
Be with us all. And the queen of helping you income your producing activities. I don't know why it zooms in. It's like
I love that
did
though.
something.
I love that though.
Jesse Lee Ward.
Bosley.
Honestly.
We love you, girl. And the little white fluffy.
Gurgly,
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 gurgly.
Gurgly. All right. We love you, everybody. See you. Today is Friday.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we're off. We're off tomorrow. I think I have an appointment in the morning. So enjoy your Saturday. Work on yourself. Sharpen that tool. I love you tons. We'll see y'all on Monday. Bye for now.
Thank you, family.
Thank